Hi everybody, this is Jeff, and this is part 3 of the Light Seal Support Craft 1/35 scale by Dragon. I did a little research on this, just Wikipedia basically. This was built in Grafton, Illinois at the Grafton Boat Works. There were only 16 of them built, so there are not very many out there. I don't know if there's even any left or not now. Anyway, they had a draft of only a foot and a half. They had two 427 cubic inch Ford Interceptor engines in them, producing a total of 700 horsepower. So this would move along the water at about 30 knots. So should make some pretty good speed on those rivers in Vietnam. Um, it had ceramic armor. I'm assuming that was somehow, sandwiched into the hull. Not really sure just exactly how that works. Anyway, it had a crew of three, and then it could hold up to 6. So in our model, of course, we've got the 6. Anyway, show you what I'm doing real quick. Since I was here before, I've sanded this and filled it. We've got a real nice seam here now, so it's all blended in. That should just disappear under the paint. I've got a few things here. I did glue in these strips on the sides to locate the interior, and I filled these a little bit more. Those are nice and smooth now. Now when I put this in, it's located positively, and shouldn't be any problem gluing it. There should be plenty of surface. The firewall here in the back does not fit very well. When you have it in here, there's some fairly large gaps, and it goes in like so. And like so. It does locate it better, but down here at the bottom, it doesn't fit very well. So you can see a gap right there. So I've cut some pieces of styrene I'm going to put in there, which will make it for a lot more positive gluing surface, and it'll also look a lot better. I've decided I want to go ahead and paint this in the front, so I can get paint in there under the dash. I'm going to paint the whole thing, or I should say prime the whole thing in black, and then I'll be painting it a dark green when it gets here. Still haven't seen my paint yet, but anyway, this seam at the very back I'm not real happy with. It's just kind of got a loose fit. It needs something underneath it to glue against, so I've got to work on that a little bit, and I still want to put something across here so that you can't see, down through these holes here. So that'll be something I'll be working on the next day or so. I went ahead and filled, I filled these sink marks. This is the back side of the stand, just to make it look a little nicer. So I can put that together and get that painted. I ordered some Posca pens. I'm going to try those on this, just to see how that works. You can't really see it in this camera. Maybe if I get the light just right. Anyway, it says 1/35 LSSC Light Seal Support Craft, and it's got a logo over here. So I'll probably have those pens tomorrow. I'll get this primer tonight, and then I'll decide what color I'm going to paint it. The instructions go into quite a bit of detail on the figures. There's 6 figures, so I circled them all, and I figured out where they go in the boat. And I took all the pieces for each one, and I put them in these containers. So I have all my figures here, and I've been working on cleaning seams. So it's going to take a while to get all 6 of these all cleaned up and to where I can start putting those together. But I'm progressing. I've got them about half done. Also, I've got, I think this is a Mark 7, or excuse me, a Mark 18 grenade launcher that goes on the boat. It's kind of a crude rendering of it, but it had a couple of ejector pin marks and a couple of big sink marks in it. So I've got to get that all cleaned up before I paint it and put it on. So working on that. These are some M60s. I believe they're M60s, and the mounts. I've got those all cleaned up and ready to go. So those go actually on the boat. They mount to the boat. One of the figures will be using it. That's pretty much it for at the moment. I'll go ahead and get some of this done, and I'll be back in a little bit, and I'll show you my progress. Just working on figures. Got all the legs put together, and everything seems to be going fine. I got one crouching figure, 1, 2, 3, 4 standing figures, and then the driver, which will be seated. This, when I saw this, the way I've got these lined up, it reminded me of the Wallace and Gromit claymation of the wrong trousers. Just something popped into my head. If you're familiar with the show, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, they're all standing up good. I spent like a whole day just cleaning up flash on them. And when these all set really good, I'll go ahead and put some torsos on there. And then I'll have to start working on getting the arms, to where they fall naturally, holding weapons and that type of thing. Anyway, I'll be back and show you some more progress. Thanks. I made a little bit of progress on my figures. The boat's finished, except I've got just a little tiny bit of a seam work there I need to work on. And then, of course, painting. But you can see how tight it is in there. I've got everything pretty much posed. I just got the bit of tack, white tack on them. But you can see how there's not much room in there. Oops, I'm up against something here. And I still got another machine gun to put here on the corner and up here, and then a grenade launcher to put over here. So by the time I get all that stuff in there, it's going to be pretty tight. And I've got to put packs and canteens and various things on these guys too. But I've got the basic poses down, and they're holding the guns the way I want them to. And the driver, he's really tucked in there. I had to move I don't have it in there right now, but I had to move the location of the steering wheel up probably 6 or 7 millimeters. There's just no way I could get the seat back far enough to get that to work. So I think I've got I'm going to knock it all over. I think I've got the poses pretty good. I still got to get the heads on and all the accessories. But I just thought I'd show you this step while I'm working on it. I'll be getting some more work done on these, get some heads on, get them all looking in the direction I want them to look in, and then start doing some seam work on them. Got a lot of seam work to get on there. Put some putty on there to cover up all the joints and everything. But I think it's looking pretty good. So I'll be back when I get some more done. We got the heads on. I've got the positions, the poses just about the way I want them. So I think I can go ahead and give the boat a prime and start working on seams on the figures. I got this seam in the back here, I think, pretty well taken care of. Everything else is looking really good on the boat. Oh, by the way, I've got Carpet Monster keeping me company this morning. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull these apart, pull the figures out of the boat, that is, and clean the hull up really good with some IPA, and then we'll get some black primer on the stand and the boat and check my seams, make sure everything looks good, and start filling seams and whatnot on the figures. Thanks. Okay, I got the primer on. It's kind of hard to photograph the flat black, but it all went well. I think it looks good. All the seams and everything look really good. I have heard confirmation that my paint order will be here in a couple of days. So by the time this has a chance to kind of set real well, it's Vallejo, so it doesn't take long for it to cure pretty well. And we'll be painting in a couple of days. In the meantime, I will start the seam work on the figures, and we'll be moving on. I'll be able to start painting figures real soon. So that'll probably be the end of the video for this week. I really appreciate everybody watching. I have so much fun doing this. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Made a lot of friends doing this and hope to make a lot more. So until next time, thanks for watching.